Welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Show on Saga 960 AM News Talk Radio. Tonight, I've got the pleasure of bringing you Bhante, the Buddhist urban monk, a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of interviewing before on a TV show, and I've also had the pleasure of meeting at his mindfulness seminars that he holds every fall. But I thought it would be really interesting to chat with him right now about what guidance he has for it, what words of wisdom he has for us in dealing with what clearly is an anxious time period for people. So Bhante, how are you? And thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Brian, for having me on your show. I know you had me on your TV show. Now it's on your radio show. So I'm not just a Buddhist urban monk. My title is The Urban Buddhist Monk.
The Urban Buddhist Monk.
That's right.
And you have a Buddhist temple here in Mississauga, and you do, or you did before, I guess, this recent social isolation and social distancing, regular Buddhist, regular meditation sessions in your temple. Is that not correct?
Yeah, I have been conducting this weekly mindfulness meditation session for past 24 years. In fact, this is my 25th year. And I did not stop this weekly session. It's only during this difficult time. I had to cancel all the programs as part of this social distancing.
Now, I think that some of the principles that you've espoused, at least that I've heard in the past, is kindfulness, mindfulness, compassion, taking time to look inward. What kind of advice have you got for people today in this very anxious time period where they're socially isolated, physically distant, staying at home, not interacting with friends and family as much as they, at least in real life, they may be doing it virtually, but it's got to be a pretty anxious time for a lot of people. What guidance are you as a Buddhist monk providing to people?
I'm always encouraging people to be patient. Everything is impermanent, everything changes, and therefore this coronavirus is also impermanent. It's not going to be lasting for forever. So we just need to be patient, and we need to take time for ourselves. And we need to see the positive side of all this. We can't just see the negative side of all this. I think people feel anxious, people feel kind of stressed out because people are running. People are not used to
quiet time.
So people think this is something bad for them. But I think we human beings are just rushing for so many things. As a result of that, we are creating a lot of problems for ourselves and also for the world. And maybe this is the nature, just trying to slow us down to go back to our own real home. And I always tell a story to the people. This is the time to really be kind to ourselves. If we are worried, if we are panicking, if we are stressing out, if we are anxious, this is the time that we really need to have compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. Because compassion, kindness heals. It heals you, it will heal others too. So I'm encouraging people to understand this particular story. This story is, this is a story actually told by the Buddha in one of his discourses, but I have modernized it.
Okay.
So this is a story about the fox and the turtle. And one day, this turtle went outside to look for food. Maybe he was hungry and he was searching for food. And at the same time, fox also came outside looking for food. And the fox saw turtle. And then he thought, oh my goodness, it's my good day. Is what a great day. I got my yummy food. Turtle is there. I'm going to get him. I'm going to kill him and eat him up. So with this in mind, the fox started aiming at the turtle. Turtle also saw fox, and then he realized, oh my goodness, this is my bad day. There's fox. He saw me. Now he's trying to get me, and he's coming towards me to get me. So what can I do now? Shall I run? And then turtle realized I'm not fast enough. What option do I have? Okay, I have something to protect myself. I have my shell. If fox gets closer to me, I'm going to go inside the shell. If I go inside the shell, this fox cannot do anything to me. So with this in mind, the turtle got relieved. And when the fox got closer and the turtle, withdrew, went inside the shell. Meantime, fox was hovering around thinking, the moment this turtle puts the head outside, I'm going to catch it, tear it off, and eat it. So with this in mind, it was hovering around. And turtle also realized, my enemy, fox, is still hovering around. He's trying to get me, but he cannot do anything to me. I'm safe here. I'm protected. So although the turtle was hungry, tired, but it knew that I'm protected. He cannot do anything. I'm safe inside the shell. So the fox got tired of hovering around, and at the end, the fox went away. So when the fox went away, the turtle, came outside and started looking for food again. So Brian, I tell this story to everyone. This is why today in the social media, I don't know whether you have seen something like this. If you can't go outside, go inside. This is what this is what I have been promoting for years by telling this story. So when you go outside, that's where you feel vulnerable,
Right?
and you get scared. And now, what are the foxes we have right now? Our biggest fox right now is coronavirus,
Right.
this COVID-19, and this COVID-19 also brought anxieties, panic attacks, fears, dangers, stress, and all these are leading to depression. So what I'm telling people is that during any difficult time, no matter what's the circumstances, it could be very difficult, very hard for you, but you need to go inside like the turtle. You need to have faith in yourself. And see, in that story, fox was not there all the time, forever. It got tired of hovering around. Then it realized, oh, turtle is not coming outside. There's no point of staying here. So he abandoned the mission. When the fox was gone, turtle realized, now I'm safe to come outside. Now I'm safe. And so if you really love yourself, if you really care for yourself, be mindful to go inside your own shell.
Well, Bhante, this is great. It's a great story and it's great advice. But I also know that you mean a lot more when you say go inside than just go inside our shell or go inside our house. And so we're going to take a break for some messages and we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you a little bit about what you mean about going inside. So stay with us and more with the Canadian urban Buddhist monk in just a minute. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. We're having a fascinating, at least I'm having a fascinating conversation with Bhante, the Canadian urban Buddhist monk, a gentleman that preaches kindfulness and mindfulness. and he's just told us about a really great story, parable, I would say, about the fox and the turtle, and about how the turtle went inside and protected himself from the fox. And obviously, Bhante, you were talking about the coronavirus as being the potential fox today. But when you talk about going inside, all of us are going inside our houses today, and we've been asked to. But I think you mean something more than just going inside our house, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Tell me what you mean about going inside, please.
Going inside is a meditation technique that we talk about. You know, there's an ancient mindfulness meditation technique taught by the Buddha. It is known as the Satipatthana meditation. It's coming from three words: Sati, Upa, Thana. So the word Sati has been translated into English as mindfulness. That is a popular word. But it also can mean attention or awareness, to be fully present. And Upa means within, inside. And Thana means to put or to keep. So the meaning of this ancient word Satipatthana means to keep your attention inside.
I like that,
Remain inside. Now,
but I also like being fully present, because way too often with our busy lives running around, we're not fully present. And I think one of the lessons of this quiet time is with our family, with our friends that we're sequestered away with, and or the book that we're reading, and or whatever it is that we're doing, we're forced to become more fully present.
Yeah. So this is also part of mindfulness practice. So now, when I teach this meditation, you know, you have a beautiful tool that can protect you. That tool is the mind. And then you need to be mindful of this tool, how your mind is acting, how your mind is creating some sort of internal struggles, always emotionally reacting to the external circumstances.
Bhante, how do you do that? Because if you're anxious, if you're worried, your mind is creating lots of internal struggles. You know, you've talked about mindfulness in the past, but how do you actually become mindful?
Becoming mindful. Brian, thank you for asking this great question, but I'm enjoying this conversation. You know, being fully present means, let me give you a modern day example. You know, you have the CCTV cameras, right? Installed everywhere.
Yes.
And or you have the sensor lights, right? You have the sensor lights outside.
Right.
So a sensor light is like a flashlight. Let's say when somebody comes to your house from outside, the sensor light automatically goes on, right? It turns on. Then when the light turns on, let's say those are the thieves or burglars who are trying to break in. And when the sensor light turns on, these burglars, you know, will hide in the bush, because burglars don't want to be seen.
Okay.
And the moment sensor light goes off, they try to come out from the bush again. And the sensor light goes on again. And they hide again. So now, when at the end of the night, when the sun is about to rise, the burglars realize that, we cannot go in, and the sensor light is there, and if we go there, we will be seen in the CCTV cameras,
right?
And we will be identified. Because of that fear, at the end of the night, they will they abandon the mission, they go away. So in the same way, Brian, when we remain fully mindful, remain in the present moment, having the flashlight on all the time, then these crazy thoughts, crazy feelings, negative emotions cannot break in, they cannot come in, they cannot attack you, they cannot destroy you. But if you don't have the sensor lights and the CCTV cameras, these burglars can easily get in or break in. They can take anything they like.
Okay, it's a great story, but how do I turn the sensor lights on?
Okay, there's a technique. This technique, there are actually many techniques. We highly encourage people to do mindful breathing.
Mindful breathing.
Yeah, mindful breathing. It is
Okay.
known as the Anapanasati. Ana means breathing in, apana means breathing out, and
Okay.
sati means mindfully. So you breathe in, breathe out mindfully. So you breathe, you do this breathing. You need to understand, breath is the life. Breath
Right.
is the energy. And we always feel stressed out or anxious because we are not being mindful of this breath.
So
Once,
when you say being mindful of your breath, you're concentrating on your breathing?
no, breath is actually taking place. The thing is, you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention to the breath on purpose. Like intentionally, you have to do it. Now, how do you do it? This is why now I'm teaching this mindful breathing with my own technique. That technique is called SSMK meditation technique.
SSMK meditation technique.
That's right.
Okay, what does
So,
SSMK stand for?
okay, slowly, silently, mindfully, and kindfully.
Slowly, silently, mindfully, and kindfully.
That's right. So now,
SSMK.
that's right. That is a technique. That is the technique taught by the urban Buddhist monk, you know. You need to understand that. So now, why slowly? Because, Brian, we are rushing. We are running after so many things. Take a break. Slow down. If you really love yourself, slow down. When your mind works fast, then you can't become creative. This running mind creates all kinds of problems in
You
our
know,
life.
I almost feel like this social isolation or social distancing and staying at home really is
Yeah,
world forcing us, Mother
that's
Nature,
right.
I guess, forcing us
Yeah,
to
you did.
slow down.
The people are going crazy because they didn't expect that.
We
They
certainly
didn't
did.
expect that. Even look at all these people, governments, they want you to work. They want you to go back to work. And people want to go back to work. They want to go out. So people are impatient. People want to always run like a machine.
Yeah.
Now imagine, Brian, even look at the car engine.
Look at the
If
what?
you if you look at the engine of the
Car engine. Sorry.
car engines, right? And if you keep running it 24 hours, 7 days, the whole month, whole year, what will happen to that car?
It
What
would
will happen to that?
it would burn out.
That's right. This is also the same. So slow down, breathe in, breathe out slowly. Don't rush. Take your time.
Okay.
You
Why silently? You know,
silently,
I've heard
because
some people chant a mantra out loud. Is that
yeah,
not helpful?
well, silently. That is because when you close your eyes, right? When you shut down everything else, then there is an inner boombox. It is talking too loud. so loud. This mind is talking, going after so many things, right? In a chatterbox.
And what happens when your eyes close and you're silent? The inner boombox quiets down.
Yeah. So then you just simply tell yourself or your mind. I normally, how people say when the people keep talking, and when they get mad, what do they say? Come on, shut up. But you don't need to be rude to yourself. You just tell with much care. Tell your mind, come on, slow down. Be quiet now.
Slow down
So
and quiet.
yeah, be
Okay.
quiet.
And
And then
mindful.
mindfully, that is, normally we it has a deeper meaning. This is what modern Western psychologists, psychotherapists, or modern Western meditation teachers forgot to understand the meaning of mindfulness. And their typical definition is mindfulness means to go from moment to moment on purpose, consciously, something like that. Okay, that is the popular definition given by Kabat-Zinn.
Okay.
But it has a deeper meaning. When we use the word mindfulness, mindfulness is a direct translation of the Buddhist term used by the Buddha called sati. Sati has a deeper meaning. What's the meaning? Is come from the root, which has the meaning to remember. Now, what do you remember? Always remember to be fully present right here now with the breath. Always remember not to visit the past. Always remember not to visit the future. Always remember to be right here now with the breath. Always remember the guidelines, instructions. Like in any company has guidelines.
Right.
Then they tell, hey, follow the guidelines.
Okay.
Right?
So,
Follow these instructions.
it's slow, it's silent,
Yeah.
I'm fully present. But then how
Like
do I
always,
do mindfulness?
being mindful means to follow the instruction.
Right.
What is the instruction?
Be fully
Like
present.
be fully present. Every time a burglar tries to break in, have the flashlight on. Okay?
But then, Bhante, I understand that. But how do I do that in a kindfulness manner?
Okay. Kindfulness manner. This is what you need to be mindful to be kind to yourself. You need to care for yourself. It is like, let me give you an example. When a baby cries, okay?
Okay.
And the mother rushes to grab the baby, crying baby. Mother does two things. Mother knows that baby is crying. Either baby is hungry, baby needs to be fed, or baby made the mess.
Right.
Baby needs to be cleaned. and the mother does these two things with so much care, because mother thinks this is my baby, right?
Yeah.
And all the baby is crying, mother holds the baby with so much love and it starts patting the back, or head. And after a while, the baby stops crying. So in the same way, when you are in trouble, let's say your mind is going everywhere and you're restless, you're agitated, something's annoying, something's bothering you, but then you just kindly tell yourself, pat yourself, everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. Then you give a gentle and kind reminder to yourself, or kind command to yourself. Relax to the max. Everything will be okay. Relax to the max. Or you can use another word. Maybe you could say, when you breathe in, say, I am calm. When you breathe out, say, I'm relaxed. Breathe in, calm. Breathe out, relax. This is kind of singing a kind of lullaby song,
To yourself. So relax to the max.
Yeah.
Or I am
I-
calm. I am
I'm relaxed.
relaxed.
Yeah,
I'm calm. I am
I'm
relaxed.
relaxed.
And you
Yeah.
do that over and over again as
So,
you're breathing?
trust me, if people could do this, yeah, you do this until your body is completely relaxed, until your mind is completely calm.
Bhante, I just love chatting with you. You're one of the most inspirational gentlemen I've had the pleasure of meeting. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back with more with Bhante in just a minute. Please stay with us.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio on Saga 960. We're chatting tonight with Bhante, the Canadian urban Buddhist monk who's been talking to us about mindfulness and kindfulness in this time of anxiety, because we're all worried about what's going to happen. And Bhante, maybe I can ask you that. You know, you talked about effectively like the mother pats the baby's back, patting your own back and calming yourself down and saying a lullaby to yourself. But I think, you know, right now people are reasonably anxious. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about being laid off. They're worried about the bankruptcy of the restaurant or the business. They're worried about their mortgages or their rents. They're worried about the economy. Some people are talking about 20 or 30% unemployment or 25% reduction in GDP growth. Some people are saying this is bad, if not worse, than the financial collapse of 2008, 2009, and we've got a health crisis on top of it. And we're worried about our loved ones that are either elderly and or with immune conditions such that they're vulnerable. That's more than just sort of patting your back. That's a lot of anxiety. How do you deal with that? How do you counsel people to deal with that much anxiety?
Yeah, well, these are the true challenging times for everyone. Let's say worrying about these things is going to make you more unhealthy. This is what we all need to understand.
So the worry just doesn't help.
You know, worrying doesn't help at all. So sometimes we need to accept whatever it is. It is whatever it is. We just have to deal with it. We just have to face with it. The thing is, you need to understand like this. Let's say during the winter time, what happens? This is a cycle. Okay, this is a cycle. During the winter time, what happens? We lose all the leaves. The trees remain naked for how many months? 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, right? But during this springtime, when the power of winter, the cold it begins to diminish, the trees begin to feel the heat of the sun, of the summer, and they begin to blossom. And they remain fully blossomed for another 4 or 5 months. And in the fall season, I know people start getting panicking. They start panicking. Oh my goodness, the summer is gone. What are we going to do? People suffer from, people are scared of the winter blues. So we have to, we go through all this. So this is also the same. Now, there were times in the past where in 2008, when there was an economic meltdown globally, people were worried. People lost job. Now see what happened? They regained their life, right? And then when 9/11 happened, people started feeling the same thing. Now see what happened? We got back to life. Now this coronavirus is taking place. It's also creating the same thing. But as I said earlier at the beginning, nothing is permanent, Brian. Nothing is permanent. We just need to be patient with this. We just need to face all these constant change taking place in our life.
It's about that line that says,
Yeah.
"This too will pass." So all things eventually pass.
Yeah. All things
Actually,
going to pass.
one of the most impactful books I think I ever read was Viktor Frankl, who wrote the book In Search of Meaning.
Yes, I read that book.
And written during, I guess he was a psychologist in concentration camp. And
Yeah.
his line was something to the effect of, you can't change the circumstances that you find yourself in, but you can change your attitude in
That's right.
regards to how you respond to it.
Yeah, that's why I always thank you for bringing this up. Now it made me become aware of another wonderful technique or the wisdom I share with people. Okay. Now all the anxieties, the stress, anger, hatred, uncertainties are the result of how we emotionally react to the circumstances. Now let's say, instead, there's a major difference between looking or reacting to the circumstances and how you're reacting to the circumstances.
Right.
Now, if we just react to this coronavirus, oh my goodness, I'm going to die, I'm going to lose it, I'm going to lose my job. Of course, that is going to cause you more problems. But take a deep breath, and then instead of reacting, then look at how you are reacting these changing circumstances. There's
Right.
a big difference between how you react, how you and how you react to the things. Okay.
Yep.
It's just, let's say, I'm reacting to this circumstance right now with much anger, much uncertainty, with an anxious mind, or with an angry mind, with an uncertain mind. The moment you realize that, I'm reacting to these circumstances with anxious mind, this is going to make you calm down. This is make you realize so many things. But if you just keep reacting and reacting and reacting and reacting instead of looking at how you're reacting, then there will be a lot of problems. You are adding more problems.
So don't
So
just react,
without,
think about how you react.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, that's great advice.
Yeah. So this is what we all have to understand.
I read
And there's one thing. There's one thing that I would like to highlight here, Brian.
okay.
There's um, a wise and highly respected Thai Buddhist monk. Actually, he produced so many students, and one of his sayings is, if you let go a little, you will have little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace. If you let go a lot, or if you let go completely, then your struggle with the world will come to an end. So now, this is the practice we need to understand. Are we going to get attached to all these uncertainties, worries, stress, problems, or are we realizing that internally we need to let this go? The day you realize that you need to let this thing go, that will be the relief.
That will be the relief.
Yeah.
But you're also not suggesting that the people in charge of either our healthcare system or our economy should be not paying attention to this. They should be paying attention to it, just not worried about it.
yeah, they need to pay, they need to try to be try to do their best. You know, they have, of course we also have a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
Let's say you just tell yourself, this is my duty, this is my responsibility, and I'm going to try my best to bring the economy up. I'm going to try my best to create more jobs. I'm going to try my best to help people, my citizens. You know, of course, we need to understand this. Let's say this is what the prime ministers, presidents are doing. This is what those responsible people are doing.
Yeah.
We just have to try our best. But there are certain circumstances, Brian, which are not under our control. Let's say coronavirus is not under our control yet. But there
Be
are
like a
certain
turtle and go inside and close our shell.
That's right. So this is how we can help. That's why we need to understand all this. Now let's say this is what's happening. To bring this under our control, do social distancing, stay home, don't practice social gathering, don't spread the virus, and save your life, save others. You know, to do miracles, to help others, to create jobs, first you need to you have to survive, you have to live.
Yeah. That's helpful, no question.
Well, this is also like, you know, how people are saying, like if you fly, I fly, right?
Yep.
Before plane takes off, one of the last the instructions given by the flight one of the flight attendant, chief attendant, right? In emergency, when oxygen masks are released, first put that onto yourself, and then help your neighbor. This is also the same.
Yeah. We're chatting tonight with Bhante, the Canadian urban Buddhist monk. We're going to take a break and come back for some final concluding comments in just a minute. Stay with us.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. We're chatting tonight with Bhante, the Canadian urban Buddhist monk and the founder of the Mindful and Kindful, what is it? Mindful, Kindful Canada?
Canada, a mindful and kind nation.
Canada, Mindful and Kind Nation.
Yeah.
And Bhante has a wonderful seminar every fall that I've had the privilege of speaking at for 2 years, and he's got a temple here in Mississauga at Dixie and Dundas. Is that correct?
No, it's Dundas and Kautra on Kautra Road, 3133 Kautra Road.
3133 Kautra Road. And once all of this social distancing is done, you're going to be every Wednesday night. Is that right?
That's every Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
And is there a website people can check you out in?
Yeah, they can visit our temple website, westernbuddhist.com, or they can follow me in the Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. I'm very active in the social media, by the way.
You are very active. I see your posts on a fairly regular basis, and it's a pleasure to be able to chat with you one-on-one and share your wisdom with some of my listeners. So thank you so much for that. Let me ask one final question, if I could, before we go. There's been a bunch of discussion in the press, comparing different political leaders and hope versus honesty. And some people are describing, Governor Cuomo in New York State as being frank and honest, and President Trump as being sort of hopeful, but maybe unrealistically hopeful. You're a gentleman that is always smiling. You're so positive. I've always been impressed about how you're always positive. Do you think that just being positive, even when you don't have the reason to be positive is the right strategy? Do you think this strategy that President Trump is following with hope, but maybe not hope that's grounded in science, is the right strategy, or is Cuomo's strategy of being frank and honest,
Yeah.
which might be at times a little scary, the right
Uh,
strategy?
yeah, this is the thing. There's a principle I teach to the people. I call it optimistic realism or realistic optimism.
Realistic optimism.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, you need to be realistic. At the same time, you need to be positive. You need to
Right.
be optimistic. Like, you just say to yourself, it is what it is. That is a reality. But I'm hoping, I'm having faith in myself and my activities. I'm going to try my best to deal with this.
Right.
Yeah. So when and also another thing that we need to understand, Brian, people sometimes have just one strategy, right? But we need to have several strategies. In my way, I say, if you must have option A.
Yep.
Of course, option A is your preference. But in addition to this option A, we must have option B and option C.
Right.
Just in case, the reality, just in case, and I'm going to try my best to go for option A. That is what I like. That is what I want to do. After trying and trying and trying and trying, if option A doesn't work, then I need to be mindful to activate option B and then option C.
Yep.
So then option B and option C will definitely work out. That is, having, you must be hopeful for this.
Yeah.
You must have faith in yourself. If you don't have faith in yourself, if you're not being honest with yourself, then there will be a lot of struggles, a lot of problems. Things will be very difficult. How sometimes people just very stubborn with their own idea. No, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Right? So and then at the end, if it doesn't happen, they go through so much miseries.
Well, I think you've got some great advice in regards being mindful and kindful and slowing down and being present and looking
Yeah.
inward and being honest with yourself. And
Yeah.
so I think a lot of the principles that you've talked about have been very helpful. And
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to one of these Wednesdays in the future. But I'm realistic. It's probably not going to be for a couple of weeks now, but one of these Wednesdays in the future, coming and doing your meditation.
Yeah, when things become under control, become normal, I will resume all my weekly programs, including meditation, and anyone can come and join. By the way, those who come to my weekly meditation, they are not all Buddhists. They are not all Buddhist monks. And 95% of my students are our Canadian friends.
Fantastic. Well, you've been an inspiration to me in my life, and I'm certainly not a Buddhist, but you've been an inspiration. Your positive attitude, and I think your attitude about mindfulness and being present and kindfulness and compassion are so critically important that we need to shout it from the rooftops and be quietly present in our own families and communities and businesses in that regard. So thank you for that.
This can be practiced by anyone, by the way.
Bhante, the Canadian urban Buddhist monk, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960 AM.
Okay, you're welcome, Brian. I will see you soon.
Thank you. Good evening. Bye-bye.